Elon Musk activates Starlink in Ukraine amid internet disruption. With the world's current situation in front of us, we can't help but feel sorry for what's happening to the people of Ukraine and how Russia is on course to initiate the Third World War. Amongst all of this, one man is concerned about the disruption of the system he had laid out in Ukraine. That person is Elon Musk. With Russia's intensity growing towards Ukraine, Musk is concerned about the people of Ukraine and the Starlink program, which he believes should not be present anywhere in the area where people are residing. Before we get into the details of Starlink servers spread out in Ukraine, we shall talk about Starlink, how it operates, and Elon Musk's vision of executing this service. Satellite internet access has been something Musk has been talking about for quite some time now. Still, with the impending danger of another great war, things might not look as easy as they seem if Musk wishes to expand Starlink over the entire planet. Let us look at how Starlink is faring in Ukraine, and Musk thinks the current situation could pan out. If you like videos like these, then do leave a thumbs up, and make sure to subscribe to our channel if you already haven't. Let's get started. The post-Russian invasion. After Russia's invasion took place, many people feared that Ukraine's internet access would be cut off using cyber attack or due to the disruption of the internet infrastructure, or even worse, both could take place. While there have been temporary outages of the internet along with cyber attacks on Ukraine's government websites, for the most part, there hasn't been a widespread internet blackout yet. This is a good sign for Ukraine to hope that things remain this way. With several immigrants still stuck in their country, the last thing they would want is their internet access limited. This is something which the Prime Minister of Ukraine, Mikhailo Fedorov, took quite seriously and immediately called for help. The Prime Minister appealed to Elon Musk for help by sending him a tweet. Earlier this week, a truck full of Starlink satellite dishes known as dishies showed up in Ukraine. Musk also managed to turn on Starlink service in the country, which ushered great applause for the owner of Tesla as he managed to play a massive part in rescuing the world from where it is headed. It isn't clear at this point when Ukraine will need alternate internet service, but as long as Ukraine has the support of the wealthiest man on the planet, it seems that they have the right allies by their side. Fedorov tweeted to Musk, at Elon Musk, "While you try to colonize Mars, Russia tries to occupy Ukraine. While your rockets successfully land from space, Russian rockets attack Ukrainian civil people. We ask you to provide Ukraine with Starlink stations and to address sane Russians to stand." However, this support could backfire on Ukraine because if Russia were to trace the satellite signals and target whoever was using them, it could endanger the lives of Ukrainian civilians. These are simply people who are availing of the service, and they do not have a say in the two countries' politics. If the world leaders looked at this situation like the innocents do, there wouldn't be so much loss of life. Calling out for help. Musk, however, isn't the only influential entrepreneur that was asked for help. Fedorov, Ukraine's digital transformation minister, has also reached out to other people for help during these challenging times. Over the last few days, Fedorov has tweeted to Apple CEO Tim Cook to block App Store's access in Russia, Google CEO Sundar Pichai, and YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki to destabilize the Russian media and ban the use of their services in Russia. The CEO of Cloudflare, Matthew Prince, was also requested to block Russia's access to its services. Finally, Mark Zuckerberg was also reached out to request him to block the services of Facebook and Instagram in Russia. If these tech giants weren't enough, Fedorov also told crypto exchanges to cut off Russia if they did not stop their terror attack on Ukraine. An IT army was also a suggestion from Fedorov, which could have a cyber specialist of the world united against Russia. Although these suggestions and requests will also bring down users of the services mentioned in Russia, it's for the greater good. At least until the attacks from Russia come to a stop. Fedorov tweeted, "In 2022, modern technologies are among the best responses to tanks, rockets, and missiles. I've addressed the biggest tech giants to support the sanctions for Russian Federation. We've asked them to help us stop this outrageous aggression on our people." A few days later, a truck full of Starlink stations arrived in Ukraine, and it was clear that Musk complied with what Fedorov requested. The Ukrainian Prime Minister expressed his gratitude in another tweet where he thanked Musk for sending the Starlink stations their way. This is a part of an effective strategy that might end up helping Ukraine drive out Russia. Russia is well known for using the internet to push its propaganda, using coordinated social media campaigns. Still, Ukraine has now developed its own social media tactics to fend off the Russians. The main element is the emotional channel that Ukraine's leaders use to invite aid from the rest of the world. With various channels being used, reaching out to the most prominent tech magnates globally is just one of the few methods. With Musk, however, Fedorov hit the right spot. He got into contact with a CEO that loves attention and has a habit of being in the news, regardless of it being the right reason or the wrong. Even though it isn't his place to say anything, Musk has shown his willingness to get involved in the Russia-Ukraine conflict. He tweeted SpaceX's logo at the Russian official who threatened that the International Space Station would fall out of the sky if Russia were removed from it. Musk wasn't having any of it. While Musk usually collects accolades for his proposals, it's worth pointing out that his efforts don't always give the results he expects. Starlink in Ukraine. As for Starlink being present in Ukraine, it does appear to be working just fine. Oleg Kutkov, who lives in Kiev, tweeted that his dishy was working. Kutkov told Recode that he didn't get the dish through Musk's donation. He happened to buy it months ago through eBay. Kutkov couldn't connect to the internet then, nor did he expect to do so. Kutkov is an engineer and said he got the dish to see how it works, not make it work. Then Russia invaded his country. This is just a single example and might not be the case for everyone. As for other Starlink satellite internet service, it's currently active in Ukraine, and more terminals are being sent as the Russian troops that are invading are putting their best efforts into disrupting the country's internet access, as per Musk. Amidst all this, Musk urged the people in Ukraine using the Starlink system to be cautious because the probability of being targeted is high. The more users that are seen using Starlink services, the bigger their threat to their lives. Imagine living in a time when people will target you to use internet, especially when the internet is so widespread and present in all parts of the world. Musk cautioned people to turn on their devices only when needed and place the antenna as far away as possible from the people so that it doesn't risk their lives. Musk suggested that camouflage could also be placed over the antenna to avoid visual detection, mainly because satellite signals can reportedly be used to locate and target people according to their geographical location. It might seem as if Musk is concerned about Starlink, but Musk's efforts into this cause so far tell us that his priority is to save the Ukrainians from war. With Starlink's name growing and its number of satellites also increasing with every passing day, the company aims to provide internet connections to anyone on the planet. These satellites were launched into orbit in 2018. The company has deployed about 2,000 Starlink satellites into orbit across dozens of successful launches. The satellite-based service provides an alternative to internet connections spread through the means of land. These land-based systems can be challenging to deploy in remote areas because of the landscape offered. Satellites, however, are not bound by any landscape, and being present in space, it's not a question of how, but how fast the internet can be supplied from space to our homes. The war between Ukraine and Russia is much bigger than the internet problem the former is facing. Musk's contribution in this situation is something that might be discussed for years to come. We hope the Ukrainians do the sensible thing and avoid accessing Starlink servers to keep themselves safe. Musk has said they should be followed because usually whatever Musk says ends up happening, and the Ukrainians would not want to go against such a wise man's advice. That's all we have for this video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up. We'll see you soon in another video.